I never thought driving the night shift bus would be anything more than monotonous, a steady rhythm of picking up the usual late-night stragglers. But last Tuesday, things took a strange turn. It started when passengers who had never boarded before began leaving behind notes, cryptic messages scribbled on napkins, receipts, even the backs of their own hands. Each note mentioned a journey with no return, a phrase that sent a shiver down my spine. At first, I shrugged it off as some new viral marketing stunt, but the more notes I found, the more I started to feel like these weren't just random scribblings. Something was off, something that seemed to pull at the edges of reality, blurring the lines between the mundane and the supernatural. The second act of this unsettling tale began with a passenger who I had never seen before. He boarded at the usual stop, but his eyes were distant, as if he was looking through me rather than at me. As he shuffled to the back of the bus, I noticed he left behind a small, leather-bound journal on the seat. Curiosity got the best of me during my break, and I opened it to find pages filled with detailed accounts of a place called the Eternal Crossing. Each entry described a journey with no return, a trip where passengers vanished, leaving behind only memories and whispers. My heart pounded as I read about encounters with shadowy figures and a persistent hum that grew louder with each mile traveled on this otherworldly bus. As the final act unfolded, I began noticing eerie changes. The bus routes seemed to shift unpredictably, leading us down roads I had never seen on any map. The passengers, those same unfamiliar faces, began speaking in hushed tones, their words forming a symphony of unease that echoed through the vehicle. Every time I tried to make sense of the directions, an unseen force guided the wheel, as if the bus itself was alive, consumed by the tales of the Eternal Crossing. My sense of time began to warp, hours passing like minutes, as the bus drove deeper into an inky abyss. The climax hit when I realized I was no longer in control. The bus had become an entity of its own, my hands gripping the wheel in desperation as the road ahead vanished into a swirling void. Passengers rose from their seats, their eyes now glowing with an otherworldly light, their bodies dissolving into wisps of smoke that vanished through the windows. I understood then that the notes were warnings, messages from those who had once sat where I now sat, on a journey with no return. As the last of the passengers disappeared, I felt myself being pulled from the seat, my body dissolving into the ether. The bus continued its endless drive through the void, a ghostly vessel on the Eternal Crossing, forever collecting new souls for the journey.